My first crush was Peter Pan. Yes, he was technically a kidnapper. And yes, he was 100% animated. But that didn't matter to me at the time. I don't remember why I liked him. The only reason I remember it at all is because I unearthed a box of my old clothes and I found like 8 nightgowns. Now, I get flashbacks super easily, and this sent me way back to 2nd grade when I asked my mother to only buy me nightgowns from then on. Wendy wore nightgowns, and she got picked up by Peter Pan, so it was only logical that she would come for me if I wore them too. Obviously. Now, as I got older, my taste in men matured, thank God. I've gone through lots of different crushes, all of them living, breathing human beings and not computer-generated, except for the previous case, and I am no connoisseur of love, to say the least. Now, my parents have done little to aid my love endeavors, and it's honestly hard to tell what was good old "we do it because we love you" parental sabotage and what was earnest.
Beep.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Alexa, how was youth group?
It was pretty good. Tyler hit me really hard with the dodgeball.
Yeah, I saw you flirting with him.
What? Dad, what are you talking about?
Are there any male friends you would call up on the phone and have a conversation with?
Dad, oh my word, you're so embarrassing.
Fine, whatever. Wait, before we get out of the car, what are Proverbs 3, 5, and 6?
Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight.
Great, let's go eat dinner.
I wrote in my journal that night, was I flirting? Do I have any male friends I'd call up and talk to on the phone? I'm so confused. These are the boys I have a crush on. Tyler Benson, Dylan Furley, Hunter Hack, Scott I don't know his last name, and Xander Pierce. I am always very careful not to let anything on around me. My dad says the best way to capture a guy's affections is to completely blow them off. I've never even talked to Scott and Hunter. And so, I grew up with the belief that if I wanted a guy to like me, I should just completely ignore him. Thanks, Dad. I also believed that if a guy told me that somebody liked me, I had to believe them.
Psst, hey Alexa.
Hi, Carl.
I think someone likes you.
Oh my gosh, who?
Not telling. You gotta pay me for it.
I had a lizard, I wanted a math game.
Oh, what color is it?
Green.
Perfect. Okay. I think Xander likes you.
Oh my word, no way.
Ooh, it's a secret though.
Now this would be the major development of my middle school love life. Turns out Xander never actually liked me, but it didn't matter because according to my father, a guy has to make the first move. And so, I continued on in life, hoping the teachers would pair us for something and praying that he would pluck up the courage to hold hands or something. It was 5th grade. Now, Xander would continue to be my crush until my 8th grade year, when a new girl would join our school and fall madly in love with him. Now, I didn't want to compete and or be murdered by this love-struck newbie, so I squashed my feelings and continued on crush-free until my sophomore year, when I moved to England. Since then, a definite pattern has emerged in my love endeavors. One of 3 things always happens. A guy rejects me, a guy friend-zones me, or he likes me back.
Hey, what's up, Alexa?
Oh, hey, Kush.
Have you seen my script anywhere?
Yeah, I think it's over there.
Oh, gotcha.
Wait, Kush?
Yeah.
Would you want to go on a date with me?
Oh. No. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck.
Not the greatest feeling in the world, is it? Now, this has happened to me in many shapes and sizes, from me just asking the guy to FaceTime and him being like, nah, to the most extreme, which is what just happened. The second occurrence that has happened in the past is the classic I love you like a sister scenario.
Alexa, you're late for our tutoring session.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course. Okay, so what's pi over 4?
9.
No.
Okay.
Pi over 4.
45? Now this will go on for about 2 to 3 weeks until I incorrectly read into enough situations that I convince myself that he's in love with me. And I go for it. Hey Graham, so, we've been doing this for a couple weeks now, and I was wondering if maybe next time you'd want to, meet somewhere else and, talk about things other than math?
You need help with science too?
Yes, no, what I meant was more like, ourselves and our lives and each other.
Sure, I would love to go to a restaurant and talk about ourselves. like a little sister to me. Don't tell me anything. I hope we do it soon.
Now, the final scenario is something I'm actually pretty ashamed of. I'll like a guy for weeks, maybe even months, and he'll flirt with me, and I'll try and flirt back, and I hope, and I hope, and I hope, and I hope that he'll ask me out, and then he does. And then I freeze. I'm terrified.
It won't work.
Says my head.
But it might.
Says my heart.
You know how you are. You just feel things so deeply that if something goes wrong, you'll destroy yourself.
It's high school. It'll be fun.
You're young and stupid. You don't know what you're doing.
Do you really want to go to college with no experience?
Boys suck.
He's cute.
So are dogs.
Your parents love him.
That is hard to compete with, actually.
It's the same fight over and over and over again. Bro, why can't he ask me out?
Well, you know, you're really tall and loud, blonde and intimidating, and I'd be scared too.
Look, he knows I like him. What could go wrong? Fast forward a few months or so.
You literally told him you like him. You've talked about nothing else for the past 7,000 million years.
I just can't. I don't know what.
Hey, can I talk to you for a second?
Good luck.
So, I thought about what you said earlier, and I decided to do something about
Oh
it.
no.
Alexa Howard, will you go on a date with me?
I'm scared. I'm scared that I'm gonna fall in love with someone and then they'll leave and take my heart with them. I'm scared that I'm not gonna fall in love with someone and I'll live out the rest of my days a dry old hag. I'm scared that I'm not something that's worth loving. I am tall. I am blonde. I am confident. And I am very, very broken. Sometimes we need to make a mess of things in order to get a clear understanding of ourselves. Sometimes all we really need is a good friend. And sometimes we realize we dodged a bullet. I'm scared and I'm broken, but we all are in a way.
I'm scared to trust other people.
I'm scared to be alone.
And I'm scared of the Chuck E. Cheese rat.
But it's high school. We're young, we're dumb,
And we're broke.
and we're gonna be okay.